Eleanor Dale was named College Soccer News Player of the Week. Dale is currently leading the nation in goals scored with 25 on the season. In Husker baseball news, former Nebraska baseball standouts Darren Erstad and Brian Dunsing, along with Secretary Renee Brinkman, are part of the 7-member 2023 class set to be inducted into the Nebraska Baseball Hall of Fame on Sunday, November 19th in Beatrice. The World Series continues tonight. Game 3 between the Rangers and the Diamondbacks will start at 7. The series is tied 1-1. And finally, Monday Night Football between the Raiders and Lions kicks off at 7:15. Our sports sticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for 2 hours of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Harburg under center, Fleeks is the deep back. Wide receivers left and right, turn. Back to throw, a play action look. Heiberg going to take a shot downfield, has a man wide open. Malachi Coleman makes the catch. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Cats outside center, Nebraska. Badenhorst, kaboom! Oh, waking babies all over Evanston. Wow, emphatic.
Now back to the near side comes A.J. Hennig. Sullivan gets the snap, back to throw, pumps, gets rushed, gets hit, throws down. Then a sack. Pulled down again by Nash, his second sack of the game, all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Could this be the match? And here's the call. Net violation, we're done. Nebraska defeats Wisconsin. They did it. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down mighty Wisconsin. A second deuce game, and they love it in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hand off to Maccabee, off the left, right edge. He has some room to run. He's got a first down. Ball comes out. It's loose. Huskers pick it up at the 46-yard line, their own. Maccabee right at the end of the run, fumbled the football. Nebraska's got it back. Their first turnover forced today by the Black Shirts. Heinrich gets the snap, play action, flips it out in the flat, caught, touchdown. Thomas Fedoni, easy little catch in the corner of the end zone. Nebraska's on the board, 6-0 Big Red. Awaits the snap, gets it, takes a handoff, back to throw, step, throws downfield, taking a deep shot down the field, and the ball's intercepted, picked off by Tommy Hill, has an INT, he's at the 15, to the 20, breaks a tackle, skirts to the outside, 25, makes another man miss, slides his way to the 28-yard line. Tommy Hill's second pick in as many weeks, stops this drive by Purdue. Huskers will take over at the 28. Heinrich gonna step in back, little G-belly action, has a man wide open, it's Jaylen Lloyd, the throw, he makes a catch, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Nebraska.
It is absolute grand larceny what's happening.
Wind at his back to try to get the Boilermakers on the board, so the defense does it again. The snap is bobbled and blocked.
Score.
Up in the air. The ball's picked up by the Huskers. Scooting down the sidelines. Quentin Newsom to the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Motion to the near side. They hand it off to Emmett Johnson. He's at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Emmett Johnson's first career Husker rushing touchdown. It's now 30-14. As the Huskers are going to improve to 5-3, 3-2 in the league. They hand Purdue a loss. The series all-time now tied at 6 apiece. As Nebraska gets it done today, a final of 31-14.
I know some people will question who we play in the schedule, and I'm watching Maryland play Northwestern before the game. I said to the boys, you're a better team than you realize, so just keep playing like it, and we're going to keep trying to get better. So Northwestern beat Maryland. So keep trying to tell the guys to keep getting better. I think that's, for these guys on this team, it's the first time they've ever won 3 in a row. It's now it's only 3 games in October, so it's kind of cheating, but as Keith tells me, it's the first time we've won 3 games. We've gone undefeated in the month of October in 22 years. So none of that means anything when I wake up tomorrow. But I do want the guys to appreciate that they're working hard and they're battling, and guys go down and other guys step up.
Well, it's quite a Saturday, a cold, windy Saturday, but boy, did it turn out with a nice Husker victory. 24-0 at one point. I know the coach is not happy with the way that kind of fourth quarter went, but a 31-14 Nebraska win. And Jessica, all of a sudden, This team, after an 0-2 start, has won 5 out of 6. And as we kind of documented at the end of the broadcast, if the Wisconsin game turned out the way that it did, there was going to be a 4-way tie for first in the West, and that's what we have, a 4-way tie, and the Huskers are one of the 4.
And, it's so cliche, but you think about, 5-6 weeks ago, and we started talking about one at a time, and we started hearing that messaging, one at a time, and here we are, one at a time, and where they wanted to be, right, after the 2 losses to open up the season. And so, the approach is working, and they're buying into it, and then the more that you win, the more you believe. And, yeah, it's fun. I'm so happy for these guys. And, it's not always pretty,
No.
but that doesn't matter. What matters is what it looks like what the scoreboard looks like at the end of the day. And that's what Coach was saying, celebrating quote unquote ugly wins, take that every day, right? Coming out on the right side of the scoreboard. And hey, I mean, just again, hats off to the defense. They do enough, and then the offense puts up, the points that they have to. And at the end of the day, you're getting wins, and you're racking up those wins, and you're stacking those wins, and that's what you want as a football team.
And he said that today. He goes, I realize it looks ugly at times, but this coaching staff has been forced to play this way because of the injuries. And we go back to that. And instead of letting that be an excuse with not having 3 or 4 of their top wideouts and not having 2 of their top running backs, and now 3 offensive linemen out, they've just figured out a way to win. And I think that's incredible. And we're now almost into November. We will be by the time we tee it up Saturday in East Lansing. This guy's got to be on the short list of Coach of the Year in the Big Ten Conference with what's happened here.
Yeah, just the turnaround, and you're still sitting here. We said this a couple weeks ago, and I know Coach Rule does not want to have any part of that, and even Searles, when I try to get him to engage in this conversation, he wants no part of it. But for you and I, we're sitting here saying, hey, even a couple weeks ago, there's a lot of winnable games left on the schedule, and there still are some winnable games, several, more than 2 or 3 winnable games if you look at how things are unfolding in the West. And so, there's still a lot to play for, not just one more win to get to a bowl game. There's still a lot on the line here. And, I just walked down here from my office, and they're setting up down here on the concourse. And we've talked about this a little bit sometimes on the show, but every Monday they do a family dinner, and everybody comes. I think they bring the families, but they've got some inflatable games set up down there. And, just the more and more that you talk to guys, that I talk to guys post-game or throughout the week, and just how much they've bought into what is being established here, and the culture and the brotherhood. And, they want to, at times when maybe you could get frustrated, the defense could get frustrated with the offense, or, there's just certain things that maybe other teams or maybe even teams in the past would have let that affect how they play. They embrace one another, the way that they celebrate one another, whether it's Tommy Hill or Quentin Newsome making a big play on special teams, or Tommy Hill getting interceptions, or the freshman wide receivers getting into the end zone. The way you see the defense come over and just really celebrate how happy they are when the offense makes a play, and vice versa, how you see the offense go over and celebrate the defense. This culture, and it's not just happening in the football season. This goes back to January, to December immediately, and then all the things that they did in the summer. And it's just, all of that is coming to fruition. And it takes some time for that to get going, but I think that's ultimately what you're seeing is week in and week out is just a buy-in in what has been established and what has been being established now for 10 months.
Well, it was a convincing win. I mean, like I mentioned, 24-0 at one point. Obviously, you had the turnovers that led to 14 quick points for Purdue. But they were not going to drive the football down the field on that defense, which continues to play at such a high rate for the Big Red. And when you play defense like that, you're going to be in every game. And we said this a couple of weeks ago. We really said this after the Michigan game, that there wasn't a game left on the schedule that Nebraska couldn't win. There also wasn't a game on the schedule that Nebraska couldn't lose. That all still applies, and that's why I think this staff stays with the 1-0 mantra. That's why Vegas shows this game Saturday as being a 2.5-point spread. They think it's going to be really tight, even though Sparty hasn't won in about 6 weeks. But Nebraska's not a juggernaut. They're going to have to grind their way each and every week, and this team has wrapped their arms around that and said, that's what we're going to do then.
I thought Damon made a good comment at the end of the game when you guys were kind of talking about what you saw, and he's like, it's almost like this team is embracing that it's not pretty, that it's the ugly
Agreed.
wins, whatever that might
Yeah.
be. And, it is. It's true. And that defense, they embrace it. And, Searle said it best. They're almost wearing it as a badge of honor. Hey, we will win this football game, right? And I go back to when I was at Oklahoma and Coach Rule and the staff was at Baylor, and that's what those teams were about. It was built on defense, playing great defense, and just the physicality and that culture. And that's what this defense is not concerned that the offense has some issue. They're okay. Let us go do what we can do. Now, again, I think there are other teams that will be able to capitalize on some of the mistakes if they continue, like a Maryland.
Yeah.
They have a good enough offense that if you give them the ball that far in the red zone, they're probably going to be able to capitalize, right? I mean, they've just been able to score. So that's got to get cleaned up. That's still an issue, and that still has to be figured out. But for the defense to sit there and keep saying, hey, we got you, we'll figure it out. But I think the reason why Michigan State is a little bit like Northwestern, you could say, oh, they're going to hang it up, but then they just keep coming out and fighting, right?
They sure do. Northwestern won again.
Yeah.
4 wins. Just give that guy the job.
Right? The way that he's kept them together,
How
and
could you not?
they're winning games that nobody gave them a chance to win.
And a lot of people walked out of here 2 weeks ago going, we only won 17-9. Well, they're not bad, is what they just did to Maryland over the weekend. All right, here's what we have on the program tonight. The head coach had a press conference earlier today. We'll play some of those clips coming up here in a few minutes. Hour number 2, we'll hear from Emmett Johnson, one of the stars, scored his first Husker touchdown late in the game on Saturday. We'll hear from him. And we'll also have part of the latest podcast, The Dig. Assistant coach Jaylen Reyes. Jessica sat down with him earlier today. Husker volleyball, a couple more sweeps over the weekend over Maryland Friday night, Rutgers on Saturday. The first NCAA tournament kind of setting came out over the weekend. The top 16, and Nebraska was where they should be, at number 1 in that thing. If you're in the top 4 when the whole thing's done, you're going to be able to host the first 2 weekends of the NCAA tournament, which starts in the first week of December. So we'll have all that here on the program. And want to get your thoughts. Phone lines, text lines open, 402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the program here tonight. John in Omaha says, nothing teaches you a lesson about getting rid of the football like getting busted in the chops. Harburg will learn. If you would have told me we would have been 5-3 at this point of the year, I would have bought it. Some fine-tuning, and we can really do some damage this year. Go Big Red. He's right, and Coach Rule kind of said that too. He's like, a couple of those are on Heinrich. You got to see the guys, and you got to flip the football away when you got a big rusher coming at you. Get rid of that ball, and don't take that shot. He's taking enough shots when he runs the ball. You don't need to take unnecessary punishment when you can just easily throw the ball out of bounds.
He's so tough, and the way he pops up in some of those hits, it's unbelievable. But he prides himself on that, and I think that's where he wants to be that guy. He wants to do that for his team. But then also you have to, part of that, though, as a quarterback, is they need you to be in the game, right? Now that things are being built around you and the offense is going through you, you have to be there for your team. And so you cannot put yourself in some of those situations. And as much as, and even Searles has talked about this on the podcast before, I love a quarterback that will do that. But also, though, you're also sitting here saying, but please don't get hurt. You have to think about that now. It's not just about doing those big plays for your team because you think that your team needs it. Your team also needs you to be out there. And so you have to just balance that of when to take your shots, when not to, and when to be smart about that.
He was bleeding after a couple of those hits in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's what they took him into the tent. That's why Jeff Sims came out. He got one of those hits, and he came out and he had quite a bit of blood, but yeah, he went right up to them and said, "Hey, I'm ready to go." I don't even think he would have gone into the tent, and if they wouldn't have basically made him go in there. I mean, he's so tough, and he just is whatever he can do, but he's definitely got to be able to. He can't leave the field. I mean, Jeff was put in a tough situation, but look what happened. When he's put in a situation like that where he's coming in cold. And it's then you get the turnover, and so yeah, you've got to rely on Harburg to be able to stay out there, and he's just got to figure that out.
Learning
process. I'm sure in high school he just whatever.
He ran over people.
Yeah,
he's so much bigger than a lot of the guys that he played against. Let's go to Omaha and Mark. Good evening, Mark. You're up first here tonight.
Hello, Mr. Sharpe. Hello, Miss Coody.
Hi, Mark.
I'm calling from when I talked to you a month ago after the Michigan game, how I said that if they just can keep competing, good things will happen, and they are happening. There is no reason why this team cannot win the next 4. They're not going to really face any big offenses down. But the key is, if they can win this game on the road Saturday, this will be a biggest step they've made the whole year. I don't see where it's really been. Where it's really ugly. I think they're competing, like I said, and that's all it can take. Good things are happening. So I've been impressed by those long touchdown passes to Coleman and then Lloyd. Those 2 guys were out there out in an island and they caught the ball, and that's a big deal. The offensive line, I think this is the best offensive line they got presently, with Prohaska and Evans on that side. I mean, Evans, Jenkins, and then you got Latofsky on the other. So maybe they run the table. I hope they do. You guys do a great job. You have a good evening.
Mark, thanks. Yeah, Coach was asked about the offensive line that end. He says, I thought they did a pretty nice job against a couple of rush ends that Coach was really impressed with. He said number 5, number 4 for Purdue. Those are good football players. He said they're probably NFL guys.
I did want to go back to his point about, he didn't necessarily see that it's ugly, but there was a stretch, especially in the second quarter, when it was pretty. All 3, you had some big special teams plays. You had some big offensive plays like that touchdown play to Jaylen Lloyd, which Jaylen Lloyd was doing that in fall camp. It was just a matter of the guys that were ahead of him. But, yeah, those freshmen are fun. They're going to continue to be able to do that. That's more of a Trey Palmer type wide receiver like that can just almost impossible to defend.
Right.
But, there was a stretch where I would argue that it's probably all 3 phases the best football put together for a stretch there in that game that this team has played all season, right? I mean,
I agree.
Now, you've got to do that for 4 quarters, and you have to maintain that. But there was a stretch there that I was really impressed with all 3, how they were all putting it together during a football game, because they hadn't done that.
They haven't. And there's just, it gets muddy because of the 3 or 4 fumbles. And that's what muddies it. But you take them out, and you can't take them out. It's part of the game. The muff of the punt that Alex Bullock dropped, you can't do those. But you clean that up, and it was a really solid effort on Saturday.
Well, especially, too, because it was like a series of the offense scores. Then did Quentin Newsome have the second touchdown or the third? You have an interception. There was just so much that happened. I think Tristan hit the big field goal. There was just some really big bright spots. Buschini had a couple. Yep. There's just some flashes you can see, and that's I can't remember who told me that in one of my post-game interviews, but you can certainly see some flashes of what this team could be. That it just takes a little bit of time. How about the offensive play calling too? I thought it was improved.
Really good.
Yeah,
probably Marcus Satterfield's best game.
Yeah,
I think.
Especially in that second quarter, I thought he really got things going.
I mean, Damon's jaw was dropping about how well they were using that motion package to take away the defensive edge for Purdue. That was impressive. Let's go to Columbus and our friend Jim. Good evening, Jim. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Greg, Jessica?
Good. Thanks, Jim.
Well, I just calling in and reiterate what everybody else was talking about. A win's a win, so I'll take that. And some parts of the game weren't too pretty. And I'd like to congratulate the volleyball team, too. But I feel kind of bad for Sims when he got in, what happened. So that was kind of bad for him. But also I'd like to say appreciate you, Greg and Jessica, for all the hard work that you do and for us fans and all that good information you put out there for us. I really appreciate that. But saying that, I just wondered, did you get my package that I sent you?
We did. I was just about to bring that up. We got it. We'll have some fun tomorrow. Okay. And also, you'll want to stay tuned and listen to when we have a portion of the dig coming up. You'll want to hear what Jaylen Reyes has to say about those starbursts that you sent Greg.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering about that.
Greg gave them to me, by the way.
Oh, really? Well, that's all right. That's all right.
Oh.
Yeah, because I hope you enjoy the hats, and it was kind of better than last year.
They're fantastic.
Cole is pumped. Cole's ready.
Oh, really? Oh, good. Okay. That's about all I have to say. But, yeah, you guys do wonderful work. Appreciate it. Just like everybody else does. All right. Have a good evening.
Jim, appreciate the phone call from out in Columbus. 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Back with more of your reaction and thoughts about the Huskers weekend. We'll do that next.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
Both Farmers and Division I athletes are alike in that every year, every season presents a new opportunity. That is nothing new. Aurora Cooperative does what they always do, embrace new opportunities. They focus on their roots and continue to stand strong with their farmer owners. These core beliefs are much like those of committed Husker athletes. Aurora Cooperatives relies on their value of a strong work ethic to get any job done for their producers. When you choose Aurora Cooperative, you're choosing a winning team that's dedicated to the success of our local farmers. Go Big Red and go Aurora Cooperative.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you on a Monday after another Husker victory. Nebraska beats Purdue on Saturday 31-14, 402-413-2400. If you want to fire off a text or a phone call on our text line. Maybe I don't understand the rules, but was Harburg not hit under the chin right before he went to the tent, which that should have been targeting? Not necessarily there, but I thought that Purdue got away with the targeting call earlier in the game on that safety cane that, and Damon, I thought, agreed to. I think we thought that was targeting, and I even made the comment, if that's not targeting, I don't know what is. So, but the hit that he got that kind of got him bloody, I don't think that was targeting.
No, and Coach Rule was really upset, I'm assuming, about the lack of call of targeting on that one, too. I know he was having a conversation with the officials on that one, but and then you know, there was my ex, I guess the ex timeline was flooded with the Sanders kid from Colorado getting targeting, and people mad about that one. It's so divided, you know, and it should be pretty clear cut, but I still feel like it's kind of, you're still seeing some opinions when the officials call it or don't call it.
Agreed.
It's still not real cut and dry on why sometimes it's called and why sometimes it's not called.
Totally agree. Let's go to the phones. We'll talk next to Sam. Good evening, Sam. Welcome to the program.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on. I got a question about the game day experience. It seemed like I was at the game, and finally we have a product on the field that's making some great plays and getting the crowd fired up. But it seems like the PA announcer, the music player, just kind of lets things dwindle off and not take advantage of the excitement of the crowd. I'm particularly talking about after the block kick for the touchdown. Place was going crazy, and I can't remember what they did, but they did some advertisements or something that just kind of let the air out of the crowd, I felt. And then the third and fourth quarter, between the third and fourth quarter, this was pretty weak. The Thunderstruck song, they played that for about, 10 seconds is all before the play started, so nobody really had a chance to get into that. Is there somebody new running that, or is it something they can improve on, do you think?
Well, you know, with the song, you can only play it for a certain amount up until the play starts. There's rules with that. But, you know, there's advertisements on some of the – I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly which part you're talking about where they didn't take advantage. I don't know if there's certain breaks that you've got to get. Like there was the Hall of Fame people, they honor the Hall of Fame people. There's just certain things that they do when they bring back former Huskers, or they have a different kind of the 100-year. There's certain breaks that it's scheduled when the timeout is called. They're going to do those kinds of things, and that's part of the show, I guess, that's put on. But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's not ideal when you have that kind of momentum and then you have to take it away. But I think they have the capability of moving stuff around. I'm not sure. I remember exactly when. Do you know exactly when that was? I mean, I don't remember what played. A lot of times I'm listening during the breaks, and so I can't. I don't pay attention to the big screen.
I'm the bad guy to ask that because we're trying to get everything done in our broadcast during breaks. But Sam, I appreciate the call. You're talking more about Thunderstruck between the third and fourth quarter, that longer break.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice the stadium.
I think it did some of the cheerleaders. Like, they might have done cheerleaders, and then they did an advertisement, and then they played about 10 seconds of the song before it really got ramped up to cheering. And then I thought they played "Let Me Clear Your Throat" after the block kick. Bananas. And they missed a chance there to really capitalize and make it a really fun experience. But it was still cool. We had a good time. We won, so it's awesome.
Okay. Thanks, Sam.
And I think that will continue to build. I think you have to remember, too, when you've got people running those shows, that it's been a certain way for a while. But once you start having the momentum changes, you have to capitalize on that. I think they do a great job at basketball games when certain timeouts of knowing when to go where. I think Husker Vision does a great job. But, I think, the more that this team wins, the more that kind of stuff will come into play, right? I mean, the more you amp stuff up, you have more of the hypes type stuff, and you keep trying to capitalize on that. But I know Damon mentioned a few times that he was a little disappointed that it wasn't louder and that there is some empty spaces, empty patches.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a cold day. It was tough to kind of hang in there, and I get it. Our bodies aren't used to the cold air yet, and that was a shock to the system on Saturday. Matt and Raymond on our text line, very encouraged with the win. The defense was amazing. One comment to the offense: protect the ball. When you get into traffic, two hands on the ball. Coach calls it the X factor, and you've seen, like, if you go back and watch Jaylen Lloyd and Emmett's, those two touchdowns, when those guys are running inside the 10 with the ball, they kind of cross the ball with an X across their chest with the ball inside of that. That's a technique that this staff teaches. So you saw it with a couple of the young guys that were doing it and doing it pretty effective on the game. So good observation, Matt, and they certainly know that's an issue moving forward. Steve from North Platte, seems to me that the tunnel walk takes way too long. Your thoughts? I think they're still working the timing out, Jessica, from getting from the new locker room, which is quite a ways further away than the old one. Yeah, they got to get out there quicker than they've been. And I mentioned this on the broadcast. You could be penalized if you're not out there on time or your captains aren't out there in time. So they got to work on that a little bit. And
it seems like the last 3 home games too, the opposing team has been standing over there waiting, and Michigan just didn't.
Came on out.
They ran out, but. Yeah, it's different. There's a lot of different things that they're figuring out, and they had some special things taking place in the tunnel walk. They were it was breast cancer awareness. They were wearing the pink ribbons, and they had some moms and some of the women that were lining the tunnel too. And so there's just kind of a lot going on too, but definitely going to have to figure that out for sure.
402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program. Derek, hang on. We'll get to your call. We need to work a break in. Also time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More of the show straight ahead.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. the official foundation company of the Huskers.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT. Official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Everyone remembers Nebraska's national championships and Heisman Trophy winners. Most people also know Nebraska holds the record for the longest home sellout streak. But did you know Nebraska also leads the nation with 351 academic All-Americans? Or that Nebraska has more today's top 10 award recipients than any school in the country? Beardmore Subaru is proud to support and celebrate Husker athletics and Nebraska student athletes again this season. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the 3-row 2024 Subaru Ascent. It's the biggest SUV we've ever made. Love is now bigger than ever.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. the choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
If problem gambling is burning up your money, there's a way out. Help is free and confidential. For Nebraskans and their families, there's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Monday night post a Husker win on Saturday, 31-14 over the Purdue Boilermakers. Let's go down to Gage County and Derek. Good evening, Derek.
Greg, Jessica, great show as always. Really appreciate your broadcast. You guys are a bunch of top-notch professionals. We enjoy listening to you. I do have a question. Jessica, your microphone seems to cut out a little bit when you're giving us updates from the sidelines. And I was asked maybe if you could have your technical team take a look at that, because we love to hear what you got to say down there, and sometimes it gets muted out by a lost connection.
Yeah, we talked about that today, so we are working on that. We're going to try to get that fixed because I've had a couple of comments about that every week, so we are going to get that worked out.
That's great. Hey,
we need everybody to turn their phones off in the stadium, Derek. Can you help us with that?
No, yeah, exactly. If only we had a little more signal strength. No, I wanted to mention a play call late in the fourth, just for some of your reaction to it, where Heinrich got lit up, and then this next play after that, they went right back to him in an option, and of course he kept it and got drilled again. I was just kind of curious if maybe that's something the coaches are looking at, and maybe they'll try to prevent him getting, those big blows late in the game. But my real question is this. I've been thinking about this since last week, to lead the nation in turnovers. I got that. But I've been watching a lot of games, Greg, Jessica, and like, for instance, UCLA, they had 4 cough-ups in the first half of their game, but they ended up and they dominated the rest of the game. And other games as well where they've had tons of turnovers, but they find a way to win. I don't think it's really uncommon, and I think that, over time with a new team and a new coach, they're going to clean that up. Obviously, it would have been nice to have it cleaned up in week 2 or 3, but that's just not how it works. And I see it more as a trend throughout college football right now. And it's really one that doesn't worry me too much. And I'll hang up and listen to what you guys have to say. Again, thanks for everything you do for the Huskers.
All right, Derek. Coach was asked about after Heinrich got that hot shot in the fourth quarter, they did run him option to the left. And Coach's comment was, hey, you're the quarterback in Nebraska. That's what we're going to do. You got to be tough. I cringed when they ran him after he took that big blow, too. I'm kind of with Derek. I'm like, ooh, why don't we just hand the ball off here and let Heinrich get his senses back about him?
Because no matter what, and as tough as he is, it's still going to knock you silly a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
We saw Omar Brown when he got hit, he came off, didn't get to play. It's just, when you talk about seeing stars and all of that kind of stuff, sometimes it just takes a minute to get your wits back, and if it knocked the breath out of you, which you got to think that it did, it just shook you a little bit. It probably hinders the decision making a little bit too coming out of that. But I get what Coach is saying. It's what you got to do. I thought he should have pitched it there.
Yeah, and that's something he needs to work on. Pitching the ball in the option. He doesn't look comfortable doing it. I know they're working on it in practice with him.
Because I thought Emmett had some space. I think it was Emmett. I think he had some space on the side. And again, it's hard for me to really, I don't see a lot of the replays, and I'm listening in so much of the huddles, but I do remember that one thinking, gosh, he should have pitched that. And so if it's called, you have to know when to make that decision, when to keep it and when to pitch it. And I thought at that moment he probably should have pitched it.
Kathy in Alliance says, Greg, we were shocked to find out that the only way to watch the football game this Saturday is going to be on Peacock. We do not have streaming, nor do a lot of people we know. It's not fair for it to just be available for those who have streaming services. Kathy, you're not alone. A lot of people have had this reaction. Actually, it's not this week's game. It's next week's home game with Maryland. that were on Peacock. They are now a television partner of the Big Ten. There's going to be quite a few sporting events on Peacock. In fact, the Husker men's basketball game the very next week up in Sioux Falls with Oregon State is also on Peacock. I think the men in basketball will be on Peacock 3 times, the women a couple times. I don't have the exact number, but this is part of the new television deal. It's NBC. NBC Peacock is actually NBC streaming service. If you have Wi-Fi, you can go order the streaming service. It's fairly cheap. Peacock's fairly cheap. It also would get you BTN Plus, which a lot of our sporting events are on BTN Plus. That's just where it's all headed, folks. I have nothing else to say. And we've talked about Peacock a lot since it was announced as part of the new TV package.
Yeah, and every conference has that streaming type deal, service, whatever it might be, where you're not on television, you're not on broadcast, but it's part of why they want to push people to those streaming sites, because while there is still a lot of people that have cable, there's a lot of people that have cut it. So what's a way that you can continue to get people to buy and invest in your streaming services? A lot of it is those live sports, and every channel has their streaming, whatever. Fox and NBC, even I wouldn't be surprised if Paramount Plus gets in on the action at some point with streaming, with CBS, with their deal. We've been talking about this since the TV package was announced. It was coming. I think Nebraska is one of the last ones.
They are, to get a game on Peacock.
To get a game on Peacock. Everybody's going to have one. And then, it's every team that plays in every conference. I mean, again, we still remain really lucky that most of ours are pretty easily accessible. I mean, I know that a lot of the teams in the Big 12, a lot of them are on like ESPN Plus, where they're on streaming almost every week. And so, it's a great deal. There's a lot of exposure. It's the best TV package in the market right now. One of the things that comes along with that is streaming, which is just where stuff's heading. I mean, look at the NFL games on streaming.
Absolutely. They're on the Thursday night packages on Amazon Prime for the NFL. And the NBA came out last week, and they think they're being hurt because they're not streaming games. They're still on ESPN. They think they're losing the younger audience for that. So streaming services are off of your Wi-Fi. Peacock's like $6.99 a month. You can buy it per month if you want to, just to get a Husker football game here or there. But it's just part of the way it is moving forward.
And by the way, if you see there's a lot of spam links apparently taking place on Facebook that try to get people to, hey, watch the game live here on this. Don't click that.
Right.
It's through Peacock. It's just follow any of the links that the official Husker channels provide, or go to the Peacock, but do not click any of those links, those spam links. There's some people that are taking advantage of some folks especially on the Facebook live streams and stuff, so do not click those links.
Both the volleyball matches over the weekend were on BTN Plus, and you have to subscribe to that to get that. Folks, Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40, or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1, and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Welcome back inside our Acres Broadcast Center. Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Husker Dan, I don't have quite enough time to be fair to you, so if you don't mind hanging through, we can get you on to the top of the next hour. Do have a text about Tony White has been spectacular. How many more years does he have on his $1 million a year contract in Nebraska? I don't know what he makes.
It's $1 million. I just
right
looked
at
it up.
me. Okay. Usually those guys sign 2-year deals, but boy, he has put himself certainly into position to get a raise, and Nebraska probably going to have to raise him because he's probably going to have to fend off. We're going to have to fend off some schools because he is not going unnoticed with what a job he's done here.
Well, and you remember, too, that was one of the big parts of coach roles and what a lot of people talked about, made note of, when the budget that he wanted to have to be able to pay a staff and put the staff in place that he felt that would be the right fit for what they needed to get done here. And so I'm sure he's taking all of that into account, too, and he will make sure that if Tony White's the guy, he'll figure out a way to make sure that he stays locked in.
So all that coming up and said. Matt Smith, one of our wizards in our sports information office, sent me this yesterday, Jessica. In the month of October, football went 3-0, volleyball went 8-0, soccer went 7-0. All perfect records.
That's amazing.
In October.
What a fun month. Let's keep it rolling.
How about that? Cole, you better not jinx us going into November next month. All right, wow, fast hour. Keep them coming, folks. Love all the texts, 402-413-2400. We'll hear from Husker Dan and more of you on the other side. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland. ahead.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975. And now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
So, I mean, I love the competitor. I think he's caught in the middle right now, and I have to do a better job as a head coach sometimes of, hey, I don't want to slide, but he kind of slows down right before contact. The week before, I thought I was hesitant. This week, I think he's just not quite sure what to do, and he hasn't played a super ton. So we're going to work on that this week because both fumbles, the play was dead. I mean, he knew he was done. Just probably needs to get down on those plays, and not because he's a sheep, but he just probably needs to skip a rock and get an extra yard, and we'll just play 2nd and 9. So. But he's a little bit beat up, but you know what? He's the quarterback in Nebraska.
Husker baseball news, former Nebraska baseball standouts.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Harburg under center. Fleeks is the deep back. Wide receivers left and right. Turn. Back to throw. Play action look. Harburg going to take a shot downfield. Has a man wide open. Malachi Coleman makes the catch. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Cats outside center. Nebraska. Peyton Norris. Kaboom. Oh, waking babies all over Evanston. Wow. Emphatic.
Now back to the near side comes A.J. Hennig. Sullivan gets the snap. Back to throw. Pumps. Gets rushed. Gets hit. Throws down. Then a sack. Pulled down again by Nash. His second sack of the game, all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Could this be the match? And here's the call. Net violation. We're done. Nebraska defeats Wisconsin. They did it. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down mighty Wisconsin. A second deuce game, and they love it in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Having fun on a Monday, celebrating a big weekend for Husker sports. Volleyball with 2 sweeps. Soccer moved on to the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament with a thrilling 3-2 win over Ohio State yesterday. Boy, it was cold out at Hibner Stadium. They will face the Wisconsin Badgers in Columbus, Ohio, which is where the site of the semifinals and finals of the Big Ten tournament on Thursday. That will be televised on BTN at 4 o'clock is when that will happen. So the Huskers and the Badgers, who had a tie earlier this year, will square off again in the semifinals. Good luck to them. And Husker football, 31-14 winner over Purdue. Nebraska now 5-3, and for Crypto King and those keeping track, Colorado is now 4-4. So
yeah,
those are the 2 records.
You tried to call in and stir some stuff up a few weeks ago, but kind of thought then, and hey, just let's see how it all unfolds. It's still a little too early to make any of those those comments.
Just wanted to give an end of the month update of the.
I love it. Yep.
Let's head to the phones. Let's go to West Point. Husker Dan, good evening, sir.
Hi, Greg and Jessica. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, Dan. How's it going?
Very good. Hey, well, I was at the game Saturday, and I was sitting on the east side in the middle balcony. Great seats, and my first Champion Club experience, and I thought it was just fantastic.
Oh, good, good.
I got 2 things I want to talk about. You know, first, I was very intrigued by, and I talked to people around me, and I said, I noticed something. I'm like, look at this, guys. I said, Purdue players are all wearing coats, and ours aren't. And I just love to see that because that shows toughness.
You know, Coach Rural mentioned that in his post-game press conference that Jay Terry, our wonderful equipment manager, wanted to have the coats out there, and Coach Rural said, nope, leave them alone. They can get by the heater, leave them. We're not unpacking those things.
That's awesome.
That's so awesome.
A lot of them didn't even have sleeves on either.
No, they didn't.
No, I noticed that. Hey, Jessica, so I'm gonna let you answer this one. I know Greg wants to get on this one too, but hey, you know, the beginning of the game, the first review, it was a fumble. We came up out of the pile with the ball. Why are they reviewing a dog pile where you can't see anything? I'm still shaking my head, and it drew a lot of boos from the crowd. And to me, I still don't understand how can you review something you can't see?
Well, remember, they called that Purdue ball, and thank goodness they reviewed it. It was pretty clear that we came away with it, so we saved the possession there. But so, yeah, pretty much, Dan, and maybe you weren't with a lot of the cameras they had there Saturday, we could see pretty much all the replays pretty well. And so I think they got them all right. So I think replay earned its stripes on Saturday. I think they got the calls right.
No, okay. So, yeah, just looking at the replay on the big screen, I'm like, what in the world are you clowns doing? I didn't know where that crew was from, but I'm like, I thought they got that one really wrong, but maybe I'm wrong. That's all I got.
All right, Dan, appreciate it. No, I think the only thing I really had a complaint when we talked about it in hour one, I thought they had a target. There should have been a targeting on one of their safety in a play in the first half. I thought they missed that.
Yeah. But you want those pileups. I know a lot of times that's why they say it stands when they don't have that evidence. But on those big plays, you want them to at least take a look at it, right, in case that it is overturned, especially when there could be big things on the line if it was closer or depending on the timing of the game. You want them to make sure. And because if you're on the other side of it and there's a chance that you can get it overturned then. But sometimes they have all those different angles. You can zoom in and slow it down and all that maybe you can get a glimpse that you can't see from the naked eye.
And they don't put all those up on the big board.
Right.
So remember that when you're in the stadium, you're not seeing every angle that the officials are. Damon's been really accurate on a lot of these calls. I think he's at 98% or something like that.
Wow.
So he's really, really accurate. Cole says it's time for us to do a practice report.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
So Coach Rural had his weekly press conference today. We'll start with the news that came out this morning. Quentin Newsome was honored as the Special Teams Player of the Week. He returned that blocked field goal for a touchdown. He recovered one of those muffed punts that he was able to jump on and grab, and so Q gets that. Here's the coach talking about his senior defensive back.
Yeah, very fired up for Quentin, and I should have said that in my opening remarks. They told me that earlier. You know, if he doesn't jump on that fumble, the game might be different on the punt return, right? But the fact that you have a senior who's out there playing on the punt return team, I think that who speaks a lot to him. He's an NFL player, and he's out there playing on the punt return team. That we can make you do that, but we're not making him do that. He's helping the team, so I appreciate that. I appreciate what he did on the field goal block. I mean, he's exactly where he's supposed to be. But then he also brings his own unique talents. Like he Willie Mays caught that ball right over the top of his head. So excellent play. So he's a great competitor, fiery. I think the guys respect him. We can't play defense the way we're playing without guys who can play man. And him and Tommy and Malcolm and Giff and Omar and Phelan, they're doing a great job.
Quentin Newsome, sometimes he is probably not talked about a lot, which you and I have discussed several times on this, just because he's so good. A lot of teams don't even want to give him a chance to make any plays. They don't throw at him very often, but that's awesome for him. And I thought it was so fun. And it's just, pretty telling of how those guys are on the sideline, but to see them high-fiving when they cross the field goal line, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, let's go.
Coach was not happy. Didn't like that.
I know. And then when his wife
She said, lighten up. Let her have fun.
let him celebrate. I thought that I can't believe he didn't see it. I saw it on the big screen when they were running in. But, a lot of the Emmett Johnson, who we'll hear from here in just a little bit, he mentioned that, how big that was for the entire sideline. Just the special teams plays, the big field goal from Tristan. Sometimes they're not always the ones that get talked about the most, but they can be the absolute game changers, the biggest game changers for a football team.
Huskers have won 3 in a row, and in all 3 games they have lost the turnover battle.
Crazy.
Remarkable. Here's the coach talking about how they've been able to overcome those mistakes.
Well, on offense, because no one says much good about the offense right now, right? We're still first in the Big Ten in rushing. We're still first in the Big Ten in rushing yards per game. We're still first in the Big Ten in 10-plus yards rushing, 10-yard rushes, which I think is a pretty cool little stat I try to keep. So that, if you're normally doing that, people don't say how'd the O-line play, right? They kind of know, well, if you're first in rushing and you run the ball and people know you're running it and you're still first in rushing, you're probably pretty decent at something, right? I asked the offense to get to in the 40s on third down. They did it, right? So, I think there's kind of those things. So anytime you're first in rush offense and you're first in rush defense, what people say ugly, I think is tough. Does that make sense? Whereas people might say, hey, you guys are winning ugly. And trust me, I do know it's ugly. So I'm not saying that. I'm as upset as anything. But the flip side of it is I just think we're kind of a tough team. I kind of like our guys. I think we're kind of a gritty, tough team. And I kind of like running the ball and stopping the run. I kind of think that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So I think it's a testament to that. I think it's a testament to winning the time of possession. I think it's a testament to playing well on special teams and you block a punt one week, you block a field goal one week, you score on special teams one week. I think that's kind of a testament to that. And what's unique, too, is that we're third, and this could be wrong, so if it's wrong, don't say I lied, just say I was wrong. But I believe we're third in yards per completion of the Big Ten at 12.6, which would usually say, hey, you know what, you should probably throw it a little bit more. And you know what? You're up 21-0 in that game, and we're controlling the game. I'm kind of like, hey, let's just put these guys away. Got too late. We got to some of the inside zone slices that won the game at the end. Great job by Donnie saying, hey, I got the play. And flipped it to the field. Sack called it, and Emmett split it. Probably, if I could go back, we could have got to that earlier. But I think it's just a testament to hey, we're a physical, tough team. You got to want to play us. But we will always have trouble with other tough teams. Michigan State's a tough team, so that's why I think this will be a battle, and I think it'll be a real battle.
I mean, we talked a lot about this in the first segment, and even going back to what David said, it's they embrace it. It doesn't have to always look a certain way. And, a lot of teams, I use USC a lot, I know, but you think about the way they play, and if it's not always going right, sometimes you see teams let up a little bit. But for this team, it's we'll just win however we need to win, And it's hard to say any kind of winning is ugly at this point, but we got to appreciate the wins, and it's not easy, and they're doing whatever it takes. And to me, that's the biggest thing, is that whatever it takes to win doesn't always have to be exactly how people think it should look, as long as we're doing what we have to do to get that win.
Al Davis, the longtime owner of the Oakland Raiders, used to say, just win,
just
baby.
Win. Just win.
That's exactly what's going on right now. Keep it rolling. 5 out of 6 for the Big Red. That is our practice report, again brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. Where making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Talk some Husker volleyball in the next segment. Part of the Dig coming up next.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid mineral with protein or Sweet Pro block supplements for space feeding, while also stretching your forages up to 25% better, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blauhorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it into the corners. And even through storms, T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenixHometownthrowdown.com. Cenix, powered locally.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Every Monday, Jessica sits down with one of the assistant coaches for Husker volleyball to record the podcast, The Dig. This week, it's Jaylen Reyes, and here's part of that.
Overall, how'd you feel about the weekend?
Well, 2 wins you take. I thought we actually did a lot of really good things playing Maryland and Rutgers. We kind of held them to a pretty good hitting percentage in terms of defensively. Allie Batenhorst had a really, really nice weekend offensively, especially Saturday night. And, yeah, Merritt Beeson was great both nights. And I thought Bergen Riley set really well. We got to play some people. Maggie Mendelson got a start on Saturday, which is awesome just because we feel like all 3 of our middles can contribute. And it was really good to get her in the game Saturday. And, yeah, and, I mean, also, no one got hurt, and, you know, we're kind of looking forward to this weekend playing Penn State.
You know, coming off such an emotional win over Wisconsin, and you can talk about this in any sport, right? If you play a rival or you knock off a big win, and it's just there's so much hype and emphasis put on it, a lot of times you can have a letdown. Did you feel that at all? Did you guys feel that as a coaching staff at all, or did you feel like they responded pretty well throughout the week?
I actually thought they responded really well. With how last week went in terms of once both teams, Wisconsin and us, won on a Wednesday, there was already a lot of hype going in. Obviously, once we both won and it's going to be #1, #2 going in undefeated, there was like an astronomical amount of hype going in.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is the game, I think, even exceeded the hype.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of hope it lives up to it. And that's why I remember even a lot of listening to some members of the media talking about, oh, I hope it lives up to this hype. And I mean, obviously, I'm on the winning side, so maybe that's why I feel like it exceeded it. But in terms of just how close of a volleyball game and how dramatic of a volleyball game, and of course, the dramatic ending, I think it exceeded it. So just kind of going into last week, you know, I think there could be a little bit of, I guess, an emotional letdown. We gave them Monday off just to kind of get their feet back on the ground, and we got back in the gym on Tuesday. And I thought actually we put in a great week of practice, kind of working on some stuff that maybe we weren't as good at, or just things we're trying to just get better at as we kind of head into the second half of the Big Ten season. And yeah, I thought we did a lot of really good things over the weekend. And yeah, sure, there's volleyball game, there's always, in any sport, there's always things you can get better at. But I thought all in all, we did a really, really good job this weekend. And the girls, I thought, really combated what could have been a really tough week. I thought they actually used those 5 or 6 days to get actually better than where we were from last Saturday.
Another player you mentioned was Maggie Mendelson. She got an opportunity, and Coach bragged on her, too, said that she had a great week of practice, too. How have you seen her come along? I mean, I think people probably forget, too, she should be a freshman this year, right? And she played 2 sports, but how have you feel like she's progressed, especially here in her second year?
Right. She's actually a sophomore, but she's actually the youngest girl on the team because she should be a freshman this year.
So I asked her about this, and she corrected me. She's the second youngest.
Second youngest.
Andy is the youngest,
That's right.
yes.
Andy, she beats out Andy by like a month, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, no, Maggie's been doing great. And we're trying to just, again, like a lot of it is just fundamentals, right? And we're just trying to clean up everybody's fundamentals in terms of passing or blocking or attacking, footwork stuff. And she's really... And I could say this about a lot of our girls, but Maggie I work with closely. In the age of I don't get to play right away, I take my ball and go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Like, she's come in every single day looking to get better, whether is going to start a match or she's not going to start, you know? And I mean, that, like, it's just, that's like so invaluable these days where, and I like, she'd probably be like, Ray, don't thank me for that because that's like my job. But like nowadays it's really easy for, you see it all over the place of kids when they don't get to play, they kind of just check out and stuff like that. And Maggie's like done the opposite where it's like, what can I do to play? What do I need to do? You know, and it's just like, it's like contagious in our team. And the fact that she's like that pushes Becca and she pushes Andy. And it's like, they're all so complimentary of each other too. And they all like want what's best for each other. So it's like a really cool room to be a part of. And just like her coming to work each and every day and like really focusing on the things that she needs to get better at, not necessarily tying it to how many starts do I have? Cause she has a few starts already too, you know, and stuff like that. And, but just, she's been doing great. She's getting better offensively. She's already a pretty good blocker. We're working on some stuff blocking a back set right now that her and Andy have to kind of get better at. You know, if you want to get into the nuts and bolts of it. We feel like we were ironing out her slide or her behind the setter attack. She actually had some nice slide kills over the weekend. So I just feel like it's like things are starting to click with her. And like what she's doing is like, it's insane. Like playing two sports at a high level, and like playing two sports at a high level at two pretty good programs, and also like doing it where last year she was a 17-year-old teammates with a 24-year-old that was playing in her position. And she's playing against, you know, with COVID rules, like 23, 24-year-olds last year. So like, you know, like in terms of, you know, she could, you know, you could say, oh, she's at a disadvantage. Like she doesn't even look at it that way. It's just like, what do I need to do to get better? And I don't know, that mindset for me, it's like, I'm happy, like she's here and like, in my opinion, that should be rewarded, you know? And, I don't know, I think the world would be a better place if everyone had that mindset, you know? So.
Yeah. And you can tell too, she's really well liked by the basketball team too. So I think she does it both places, which also speaks
I know
volumes.
she was at Hoops yesterday. I saw they got a win yesterday. And, I know I was kind of razzing her, like, you should just, like, dress and kind of just work your way next to Amy and see if she, I don't know. I don't know if my boss would like that, but, yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. I know, like, our girls in our team and their team are super close.
Yeah. Some of them live together.
They live together. Obviously, it helps that you have one player that's on both teams. But I mean, I almost feel like I'm good friends with a lot of the basketball players just because of the just the closeness and the Stavs when we recruited Maggie, and you know, I'm looking forward to the start of their season too.
When, you know, you've had a couple people come on and I've asked keys for the next week, and a lot of times they'll say we've got to get the middles involved. Why is that? Why is that so important for this team?
One, getting the middles involved means we're passing good, because you can't get them involved if you don't pass the ball good. And when you can set the ball to the middle, and I think when we say middle, it's not just necessarily to the middle blockers. It's to like our big attack, which Merritt and Harper hit out of the back row down the middle of the court. It just holds people. In general, volleyball becomes good pass, set middle, medium pass, so slightly more off the net, and then a bad pass, you set to the pin. But if you can set the middle from that medium pass, it makes your outsides better because they necessarily can't just go to you. So I'll use an example. Everyone remembers the net call from 10 days ago now. One of the big reasons there was a net is because it was a good pass. They served Lexi. Lexi passed it good. And Andy Jackson kind of made a last-minute like move to go and hit down the middle of the court. And she ran right in front of their middle blocker. The middle blocker gets stuck on that just a little bit, which creates the seam for Harper. And while that seam is created, that middle knows that, so she's trying to close the seam. And to a degree, you can make an argument she netted because of the stress Andy put on her. And the stress is there because of there's a threat that Nebraska will set that, if that makes sense. So we talk about offense. Offense necessarily isn't just pass, set, do you kill that ball? It's pass, set, and do previous things you do, routes you run, your effectiveness to set the ball down the middle of the court, does that hold those two pin blockers instead of just going out and being great on Merritt on the right or Harper or Lindsey or Hayden or Allie on the left? Being able to set that ball, does it keep people in the middle so that way, hey, Harper's hitting only up against only one blocker, not two, or 1.5, not a solid two-man block? So one of the reasons is that means we're passing well, but I think it just helps set up different things down the road to be able to kill the ball. And obviously, scoring points in the middle is super important, and we want them to be efficient. But just like being able to kind of occupy the middle of the court, when teams can do that to us, and we're a pretty elite defensive team, when teams can kill balls down the middle and from the back row down the middle, it makes it really hard to like scheme against them because you want to send blockers out to the right or to the left, but there's always that threat of, okay, they're doing really well in the middle. And obviously you can try to defend that by serving them off the net. But one of the biggest reasons is it helps set up things that everyone knows we're going to set the ball a lot to Allie. If you just look at attack attempts, right? Allie, Merritt, Harper get the most attack attempts right now. But like the efficiency level and how much we can set Becca and Andy in the middle affects those guys' on the pins percentages in terms of they're going to get set a lot and they're going to be really efficient because of the threat of the people inside, if that makes sense. And volleyball usually works inside out.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense. It alleviates the pressure.
Yes.
It kind of, makes total sense. Fascinating. All right, toughest question for last. Best Halloween candy. When you were going trick-or-treating, what was the number one get in the Halloween basket?
It's the purple bag of Skittles. And if you want to debate that with me in terms of the bag color, it's not a debate. So, you can get at me on social media or text me, but it's not really even a debate. It's the purple bag of Skittles, and my friends closest to me know that. So it's by far purple bag of Skittles. If I had to pick a second place, I don't discriminate to a degree. The red bag of Skittles, the original bag of Skittles is good. Starburst. I'm a fruity candy guy. So if it's fruity candy, I honestly stay away from chocolate. It's actually got me out of a lot of trouble when I was a kid when my siblings used to eat my parents' chocolate. They knew it wasn't me. So I would say fruity candies for sure. I'm a nerd ropes.
Yes,
We're good too.
yeah.
You
tried the new nerd
the gummy clusters.
Yeah.
That's a Kelly Hunter. Kelly Hunter loves the gummy clusters. She's the light blue bag, by the way. Yes, we've clearly talked about this because if she were here and you asked her the same question about me, she would say the purple bag of Skittles. The other reason why the purple bag of Skittles is great is typically the little bag of Skittles, they come in like the red bag of Skittles, they're the little bags, versus when you got the purple ones as a kid, they got you like the big ones, so it's like, you don't want to go to those places where they just give you like the little, like who wants a Snickers and have like that size Snicker? It's like either go big or go home. That's what Kennedy Orr says, So definitely purple bag of Skittles, but I'll do honestly any fruity type of candy as long as it doesn't have chocolate involved.
For the record, it's a big debate here on the Huskers Radio Network between Greg and me, lots of people that get involved. Jim, one of our great listeners, sent us some Starburst. You were eating on those. You are Team Starburst.
Team Starburst. Yeah, Greg, I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I know you're not here to defend yourself, but yeah, we need to talk about that. And for the record, just because we talked about it, in the original bag, it definitely goes pink, red, orange, and then yellow again. Just like Jaylen being scary, yellow is by far fourth place, by far.
What a fun conversation. I had to leave that part in there, Greg, to call you out because he said he could not. We were talking about Starburst before. Again, thanks to Jim in Columbus for sending us some Halloween goodies. But I said, can you believe Greg does not like Starburst? And so we had a discussion about it before, so I had to make sure and leave that part on so he could call you out. Yeah. Also, the Dig is powered by Emeritus, and we will have that full episode up. I'm trying to get it up tonight, but YouTube's being really slow. But it'll be tonight or tomorrow morning. But you can listen. It was like 35 minutes. It was like a Searles podcast, but lots of great stuff with him.
Fascinating. Horrible takes on candy, but otherwise fascinating.
It was a fantastic take.
Fascinating stuff. Folks, buckle up. Put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back to hear Jessica's post-game conversation with Emmett Johnson. We'll do that next.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Experience power like never before and move through the world in a legendary SUV from Woodhouse Cadillac, setting the bar when it comes to high-tech standards and safety features, plus innovations that enhance your driving experience. Receive $1,500 Cadillac financial cash and 2.9% APR for 36 months on the 2024 Cadillac XT5. Find your next luxury vehicle in-store or online anytime at woodhousecadillac.com. With approved credit, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 10/31/2023. See dealer for details.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Everyone remembers Nebraska's national championships and Heisman Trophy winners. Most people also know Nebraska holds the record for the longest home sellout streak. But did you know Nebraska also leads the nation with 351 academic All-Americans? Or that Nebraska has more today's top 10 award recipients than any school in the country? Beardmore Subaru is proud to support and celebrate Husker athletics and Nebraska student athletes again this season. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the 3-row 2024 Subaru Ascent. It's the biggest SUV we've ever made. Love is now bigger than ever.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear.
I have reports of a polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty you got.
For 47 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been family owned and operated. We'll treat you like family and focus on providing you the best buying experience possible. Visit us in Fremont to shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Folks, get out and visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November the 3rd. That's Friday, by the way. And get yourself entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Huskers game with the Iowa Hawkeyes here in Lincoln. And we'll throw in some pregame tailgate passes. Go see True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter, and you may be a winner this season. Emmett Johnson was a winner, part of the Husker game on Saturday, scored his first career touchdown. Afterwards, Jessica had a chance to catch up with him.
His first career touchdown today. How good did that feel to get into the end zone?
Man, that felt great. I mean, I haven't been in the end zone in like 2 years now. You know, it just felt great. I give credit to my O-line. You know, Piper, those guys that couldn't be out there with us, that was for them. Piper, Turner, and, you know, Nuri. So,
you know, when you've taken on a bigger role and have had to do a lot more for this offense, but how rewarding is it, though, when you finally get into the end zone and put 7 on the board?
It's really rewarding, and I would just say that, you know, it came from my faith in God, you know, trusting Him, you know, trusting what I could do on the field, and just trusting my training and going out there and just working as hard as I can. You know, there's a lot of tough runs earlier in the game, but that's how football is. You know, you got to get 2-3 yards, and then eventually it opens up. So, yeah.
You know, one of the things that seemed like the conversations on the sideline was, you know, the pass protection, picking up the blitzes. How much do you feel like that part of your game continues to grow week in and week out?
I think it's been growing a lot. Coach EJ has been doing a good job with me because that's the next level. You know, you got to be able to do everything as a running back, and I don't want to have no weakness. And so pass protection is something I take, you know, big pride in moving forward. And I think I had a really good one today on a play that H hit Jaden Doss across the middle. And so just continue to work at that and get better at everything is going to help me moving forward.
Now, what allowed for this offense to really get rolling there in the second quarter? You guys put up a bunch of points. We saw a bunch of explosive plays.
Yeah, I'll definitely say our confidence and the defense having our back. That big play by Quentin Newsome on that touchdown was big, and everybody just, you know, we felt momentum after that, and then the offense just started to take off. But we can protect the ball more. There's so many more things we can do as an offense to improve, but the sky's the limit for this team.
You mentioned Jaylen Lloyd, the 2 freshman wide receivers now back-to-back weeks with a big touchdown. What does that do for an offense when you do have guys that can break loose for a touchdown like that?
Yeah, like I said last week when Malachi, you know, had that big touchdown, I said that's big for our offense. It gives us the momentum we need to be able to take a shot downfield. You know, we got a special young group of guys moving forward, and this team has a bright history.
How about the offensive line, down 3 starters, the way that those guys stepped up and performed today?
Yeah, man, like I said, I love those dudes. They were fighting out there for Piper, Turner, and Nuri. Just next man up mentality, and Coach Reyes been doing a good job with them, instilling confidence in them and everything. So I just love those dudes, and I give credit to them every time because, you know, I love them so much. So.
Turner and Nuri were over there on the sideline helping coach you guys up. But what does that just say about them that they still want to be there for this offense?
That just shows who they are as a person and how much they care about the team. It's not really about them. None of those dudes are selfish. They're always about the team and, you know, helping us. So it meant a lot to see them on the sideline because I'm looking at Piper, and, you know, last week he was blocking for me. So just looking at him, I'm just like, I got to play hard for those guys. You never know when your last snap's going to be. So just got to keep working.
One of the guys you face every day in practice, Tommy Hill, defensive back, 2 interceptions, 3 in the last 2 weeks. What can you say about him and how he's performing?
Yeah, Tommy's been playing really well. I would say, you know, he's been through a lot too. He's been banged up with some injuries and everything, but Tommy, he has that mentality. I think some guys don't have that, but Tommy has that mentality, and he has a bright future ahead of him. A lot of those younger DBs, when Deshaun went down, they had to step up. Tommy's one of those guys that always been willing to step up and help the team win. You know, he did kick return. He does whatever the team needs. We played receiver for a little bit, so that just shows that Tommy's an all-around playmaker.
That was really special again. Every time somebody gets their first career touchdown, but for you, the way that the guys reacted, how much? What does that mean to you to see what your teammates, how they celebrated you?
Man, it meant a lot. You know, I love those dudes, and you know, I just can't wait to get back in the end zone again and help this team win. Most importantly, but it meant a lot just to show that, you know, everybody cares about me on this team. To see all that hard work pay off meant a lot to me. So.
All right, how do you guys build off of this one and close the chapter and go 1-0 next week?
Yeah, just watch the film, correct the mistakes, you know, 24-hour rule, and just move on to Michigan State.
The turnovers, how important is that going to be for this offense to take better care of the football?
Yeah, I mean, we say this a lot, but I definitely think we got to do a better job of, you know, taking care of the football moving forward. And I think it's going to start from us. You know, the coaches can tell us everything, but we got to be the ones on the field. I was mad at myself for missing a tackle, too, on one of those fumbles. I got to make that tackle. But just as an offense, that's something that if we take care of the football, I mean, man, it's going to be scary for some of the teams we play against. We're going to put up a lot of points if we take care of the football.
I seem to ask you guys this every week, but the defense, again, the way they're playing lights out tonight, almost pitched a shutout. How big is that just for the offense that no matter what you're going through, you know that the defense is going to have your back?
Yeah, that's big. I would definitely say, you know, those dudes always talk to the offense. They always come over there and say, we got your guys back, and that just gives us so much confidence. And they've been playing really well. Like I said, they've been playing really well every week. And just to know that you have, you know, a great defense behind you, you know, you should go out there and play with no fear. We have nothing to lose, so just go out there and play hard every week.
Emmett Johnson, appreciate your time. Great win.
Thank you.
Obviously, Greg, he has not lost any of his interview capabilities.
What a great young man.
I enjoy talking to him. I'm so happy for him and getting into the end zone. It's you kind of take that for granted a little bit. You know, you redshirt. He's like, I hadn't been into the end zone in 2 years. You know, so it's happy to see him, and it was really cool. And it's been cool the last 3 weeks or couple weeks to see the guys that had not scored touchdowns, how happy everybody is for them. Like Jaylen Lloyd, I told you guys he's over there celebrating. The defensive players are coming over. The defensive coaches are coming over. It's really neat to see the way that this team champions and embraces and celebrates each other. And they're not about, hey, when's it my turn? They're just so happy for everybody that's getting involved.
And he's been over 70 yards rushing both games that he's been the starters.
And he's really smart. I think the more that he gets out there, the more he gets a better sense. And just seeing how they communicate with him on picking up certain blitzes and the pass protection, that's continuing to get better every week, too.
Good stuff. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back with everybody's weekend winners. We'll do that next.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. October is National Chiropractic Health Month. Regular chiropractic care has been a game changer for me, both during my career and still today. It's the recommended first treatment for chronic lower back pain over prescription opioids. It's natural, drug-free, and safe for all ages. Discover the difference of chiropractic care. Relieve, restore, resume your life. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
Inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. We always save this little part of the program for our weekend winners. What strikes you?
Well, my number one winner is going to be Husker soccer, but
yes,
I do have to have a little fun here. So Michelle, I think it's Zaucha on Twitter, tagged Amy Williams, and
this was fantastic.
And Amy, Coach Williams quote tweeted it. So if you follow her on the X, you can go to her profile and see it. But she dressed up as Coach Amy for her Halloween costume, but she has her clap down, how she claps on the sideline. I mean, it is perfection.
Yeah.
It is hilarious. So I love seeing those creative Halloween costumes.
Good for you. That's a good one. Henry, do you have yours and Cole's, or what do you have here?
I do. I have both mine and Cole's. I'll start with Cole's. He had every fan that stayed in the stands till the end of the game on Saturday.
Good. Well done. Hardy people, yes.
And I had Tristan Alvano.
Monster kick. That thing would have been good from over 60 yards, I think.
Yeah, and
good for him.
And the way that we got a phone call about the crowd earlier, that was one of the loudest cheers of the day.
Sure was.
It was awesome.
That was great. My winner, Lexi Rodriguez, came out today that she is going to be got an NIL deal with Panini. So congratulations to her. That's a national deal that she's gotten with several other high-profile athletes. Good for her. Last year, you had Nicklin Hames had a deal with a sportswear line with Adidas, was it? That she was kind of the spokesperson for, and now you got Lexi. That's awesome.
It's great. And that's the power of Husker volleyball. And they have just such a huge brand. And, they continue to break the glass ceiling. And what's also kind of bonkers is that every one of them are coming back next year. So just wait till, they keep growing and their brands keep growing. Wait till you see some of the stuff that's probably coming out next year, too.
Fantastic. Carol on our text line said, streaming and viewing Husker sporting events. I'm frustrated. I don't have a clue who to subscribe to in order to watch the most Husker events. In this day and age, could we just consolidate things? Like reviewing Peacock's option, I am unable to ascertain who all, football, volleyball, basketball, men's and women's softball, baseball, will they be broadcasting annual, monthly. They are just doing football, men's and women's basketball. You can get Peacock. You can do it on a monthly basis. There's a Husker football game, and there is a basketball game coming up in a couple weeks. You could do it monthly. That's what I would suggest people. Get Peacock for 1 month, watch the football game, the men's basketball game, and then don't subscribe for a while until the next one comes up.
You got it. You nailed it there.
That would be my advice. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Henry for sticking around. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
We're still on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Elevate your driving experience at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Receive up to $2,250 off MSRP on the 2023 Buick Envision Preferred, or shop the 2023 Buick Enclave Avenir and save up to $3,000 off MSRP. Shop our current inventory online anytime at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit, must have 2009 or newer trade-in to qualify. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires October 31st, 2023. See dealer for details.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.